Evening, folks. Brian here. Wednesday, July 17, 2024. Hope you're all well. Something I've been thinking about for the past 24 to 48 hours, and somebody asked me a question which prompted me to do this very brief video, which I was going to do anyway. And the question was, relating to space weather events, explain why any of this is any different compared to any other time in history. Up to this point in history, there is no changes. It's not boom time yet. The fact is that our technology and the grid system has held up quite well to recent solar events, up to, I believe it was an X6 class flare. Folks, nothing's happened. Relax. Several things do happen that do affect us. So when the hard X-rays hit, that is the bright flash we see from a solar flare, and it only takes 8 minutes to reach us. It does affect radio communications, radio blackouts. If there is a radiation storm, proton event, not always, but sometimes, and once it passes a certain threshold, then air traffic is restricted over polar regions because the protons mostly funnel down the north polar cusp, down into the magnetic poles. That changes though. Coronal mass ejections, CMEs, and enhanced solar wind streams impacting into our planet. Nothing serious has happened, despite other claims. These do, as they have shown, trigger earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Specifically, as it has been shown and proved statistically, on the dayside impact of CMEs. Now, you're going to find fraud, misdirections, inaccuracies, and simply being wrong. And some people can't admit to it if their ego is bruised. Information to the public may also not be complete or accurate. They are not going to tell us the truth. So let's look at a couple of things that did not happen. A while ago, there was an X2 flare on the back side of the northeast quadrant limb of the sun. There was no CME generated. There was no proton storm generated. A person made a statement. That was the most significant space weather event ever, which knocked out cellular communications globally. It did not. As it was later shown and proved, there was the cyber attack on the United States only cellular networks. The most significant space weather event ever. And another one. You remember that container ship that slammed into that bridge in Baltimore? The person made a claim that that was 2 days after a solar storm. The result of an induced current along the waterways, which affected only that one ship, and in his statement, caused an engine fire. He saw the video of the black smoke from the stacks, and his statement was, my induced current, that was it. It caused the engine fire, which of course there was no fire. He was throwing it into reverse. So a lot of what I post is actually educational, as a lot of the people are not aware of space weather events and their effects on our planets, as well as human and animal life forms, which is very important. The biological effect, neurological, neuropsychological, physiological, cardiovascular, heart attacks. So these things are important, that type of education. So when we know we have an inbound solar storm, we can better prepare ourselves, educate ourselves, better take care of those who are affected, especially those with mental health issues or people with weak hearts, etc. So in that respect, it is important. Now, I'm not like the rest of the people. I don't get into forecasting what's going to hit and when. If there's information, I'm going to relay it. As we get closer to the time of impact, I will post the dayside impact. But so many times, other people have predicted might happen or that might happen, and absolutely nothing happened. And in fact, there was supposed to be a G1 storm a couple of days ago, and nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. So we can't get into that. I don't have an ego to maintain. It doesn't bother me if nothing happens. I just don't make stupid asinine statements. Anyway, to answer the gentleman's question, eventually we are going to be hit hard and severely impacted on our dependence on technology and the electrical grid. But to date, we may have only had a couple of power bumps, brownouts. That's about it. Nothing has happened. It does not mean we should ignore the sun and what it's doing. I'm going to go back in history. December 1957. There is a record 855 sunspots for that month. On December 24th and December 25th, there was a record 503 sunspots between those 2 days. Something huge happened. And it hit the moon. Anyway. So, we have a lot of sunspots today, for example. I don't know, anywhere from 12 to 18. Not 503. So right now, no big deal. Relax. To answer the gentleman's question. But soon it will. Soon it will. That is all.